Hello everybody. Let me get on the YouTubes to check my my audio. Let me get on the YouTubes to check my my audio. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm coming in good. So how's everybody? Everybody having a good Thursday? I'm having a good Thursday. Mostly 90%. It's a wild velvet! Hold on, I'll give you a shout out. Everybody go follow Velvet. Go do it. Go like flood all of his stuff with all of your love. That's not weird. Don't take that weird. Or do you take that weird? I'm not your mother. Alright. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yo, thank you so much. I hope everything is going well. You're welcome. I mean, everything is going well for the most part. Come on. Come on, tablet. I know you know. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright. Woo. Brushy brush. Brushy brush. I gotta pull up my exercisings because I don't remember where we left off. Come on. Okay, so let's see. So we are on 51 Great Animation Exercises level 2. Pardon me. Looks like we've done... Oh, we've done 4 exercises in level 2. I thought we only did 2. So we did the tree fall. We did character emotion change. You can tell it's still kind of like rough, but eh. Okay, let's see. We did character deep breath. Inspired by, I think her name is like Susie or Sussy from K-pop Demon Hunters. And then we did the jump over Kism. And we brought back our little flower sack person. So now we're gonna pick out at least 2 more exercises to do tonight for level 2. Okay. I wish your website wasn't so, like, bright. Thank God for dark mode. So we did a tree falling. We did a deep breath. We did jumping over a gap. And we did changing character emotion. So we could do laughing and sneezing. That would be interesting. Sneezing. We're gonna get kind of wild with it, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be a time. Okay, so character sneezing animation.
Hey folks, video 8.
Okay. Okay. Alright. We're gonna make the attempt. So let's get a quick character. Actually, I'll draw Yin, because I haven't drawn Yin in like a hot minute. And then what I'll do is I'll have this little like neck peg that's in here. If I could recommend anything to aspiring, like, I don't know, artists, animators, character illustrators, always think about your, like, character before you go into the process of animation and how, like, exaggerated you're gonna want your details to be, because obviously when you have characters that have, you know, like a multitude of eyes, or in this case like one eye, no like eyebrows or anything, trying to get them to convey like certain emotions is gonna be like more tricky than others. So just keep that in mind. Also, as a side note, if you're wondering how a primordial embodiment of the fabric of the universe and fate sneezes, and what happens as a consequence of that sneeze, I can't tell you. I have no idea. I have no idea what happens or what spawns into existence. But it's fun to think about. Did it put... Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use some light lines to simulate the head moving as just like the circular form. Don't pay attention to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. going to watch the stream while I meal prep some veggie soup. Hey Gordy, what's up? Hope you are having a good night, my friendo. You haven't missed much. We're currently working on a character sneezing. And I decided that I was gonna make this character Yindal, which as a refresher, because I know it's been a hot minute since I've like drawn her. Where is she? You would think I have a folder of her. Yeah, so for those who don't know, this is Yindal. And Yindal is not only like a really good friend of mine, but she's also one of my like art clients. And if you want, let me pull up her website real quick. Or rather, let me grab the link to her website, actually. I'm having me a great night. I hope yours is going well. This music is so happy. It is. It really is. It's psychic. No. It's Yin's psychic readings.com. Okay, nope, that's not correct. One day I'll pull it up. Oh, this time. Come on. Okay. So I'm posting the link to her site in chat. When this VOD goes up, I'll post it in the description somewhere. But the shout out, my friend Yin. My friend Yin is a professional like tarot reader and psychic. And way back in the long forever ago of I think like last year or the year before, we became close friends and I created this custom character for her that I have been drawing ever since. And she allows it, and she allows me to do all of her branding and all of her like artwork for like shop stuff and business cards and flyers and shenanigans. So that aside, if you're looking to commune with the universe, maybe go check out her readings and stuff. She also has like her own like Discord and Patreon as well. But I figure she does this thing called Card of the Day where she like draws a card per day, and if it resonates with you, you know, take the message for yourself. If not, you know, don't worry about it. But if you want to book like a one-on-one session with her, she does one-on-one sessions too. And she does more than just tarot. Like she does runes, she does astro dice, and a couple of other things. Basically, I'm shamelessly plugging my friendo because I can't shamelessly plug myself yet. I can't shamelessly plug myself yet. I'm not quite sure this is how heads, like, work. Oh, sorry, I had to complete another brain fart as I was focusing on this, like, kind of rough, like, a sketchy thing that I'm working on. I'm gonna label that 6. Fine, I'm not gonna worry about it. There. See, I knew I could get away with it. Okay, so think, brain thinking. Okay, so I have a good collection of stickers to like put up on my my Etsy now that I feel me feels likes. And that's both, I do have more safe for work stickers than I do not safe for work ones right now. But I do at least have like 3 not safe for work ones that can like go up. So there's that. So one thing I haven't quite learned how to do in animation is waves. I keep wanting to try. So yeah, but I was thinking of like offering sorry, I'm getting distracted because I'm trying to like concentrate. I was thinking of offering like individual stickers to be like probably like $2 or $3, and then having like a 3-pack be like 3 for $5, and then like 6 for $10. Like as I got more inventory. I think for right now the only like I think I'll offer them like $3 individually, and then for like a 3-pack do well, no, because then that throws it off. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think like decent prices. I mean, I could just do them individually for like $2, and then do a 3 for $5 pack. And then until I get like more designs done, do eventually go up to where they could be like 6 for $10. those sound like reasonable prices. Well, yeah, I mean, they're custom, but like, I don't think like the materials themselves cost like I'd say the material it takes me to create one, because each of my stickers, I'm noticing a trend where they're like 3 inches, like about 3 inches tall and about 2 inches wide, give or take a couple of like millimeters. So I think for overall cost and materials, excluding like oh wait, no. I know why I had those. There. So 1, 2. Actually, no, I'll keep it kind of choppy. So I'll shorten that down to 2. Hold up, now I'm just trying to like space them correctly. I mean, honestly, this kind of works. You know, we'll just keep it the way that I have it for now, and we'll go from there. Like, excluding what I've done in like misprint. Ooh, actually, that's right, because I did want to offer like a quote-unquote junk sticker pack where it's like it's stickers that are like miscut and misprinted, and like the lamination is a bit off or a bit like quirky, not because they're like bad stickers or anything, but because like even though they're test stickers, like I worked, I worked like really hard on them, you know, in my own way. And when I thought of starting it, when I posted that I was thinking of starting a junk sticker pack, I think I'm gonna call it the Misfit sticker packs, because they're like, again, honestly, because I don't have the space to do Yin's full like afro hair. She's kind of giving like Shirley Temple Yin almost. And it's kind of adorable, and I kind of love it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the Misfit like sticker pack would just basically be like off prints, lamination mistakes, and miscuts from my silhouette. And I was thinking of maybe offering them for like, you could get like, I don't know, 3 for like $2, and then I don't know, we'll say 5 for 4. but that would be like a limited like stock pack, I guess, or option. Just because I wouldn't always be able to know when like I would have misprints come in or miscuts come in. Because I'm planning to like do my stickers as like print on demand or like order on demand, where so essentially I won't have a lot of like extra back stock. I'll just print and cut the orders as they come in, because I think that would probably make my life a little bit easier. I don't know. There, Yin sneezed out a little bit of dark matter. Since this is just practice, I'm not too worried about getting like all of the sketch lines off. I also didn't worry about like eyelashes and stuff since I'm trying to focus more on the main like head movement for this. What I probably should have done was had the shoulders be involved at least a little bit, but the point of this is not so much perfection. A lot of times when you do stuff like when you do very complicated like big stuff like this, or when you like say attempt to draw like a whole like person body thing, it's more important for you to focus on like major placement rather than all the like little like extremities. And so the way this kind of works in animation, or at least the way that I'm approaching it, is that for me it's more important to focus on conveying the movement overall more so than the other detail. Like, yes, it's important to show like how the eye and the mouth move as well as the head, but I'm just trying to get like the base forms of it down. I'm also doing this looking at very little like reference, simply because I'm trying to see where my skill is before like looking up tutorial stuff. Because if I look at actual reference and tutorials, it'll look like much better because I'll have something to like reference to. But like I want to see, I'm trying to gauge my current like ability, because a lot of times you actually have more skill than you realize you do. And so basically you have more skills than you believe you do, and you'd be surprised at what like doing stuff without looking at anything first like kind of build like a foundational sense of confidence, so you're more likely to like stick with things, and then as you like go and you learn more things, you improve. It's sort of like projects should what is it? You should learn skills for the projects you want to do more so than for like the study of them purely. So like if you want to draw like say a person, I don't know, bending over, right? Maybe she's oodling like, or like an animal of some kind, I guess, or like a statue, right? So like what you would do is you would draw you would draw this, and then like say you get stuck because I don't know, the arms are too long, or the feet or the ground's like out of perspective a little bit, right? Then you would go look at like a tutorial on how to fix those things, and then you would make like small adjustments to fix those things, but still continue working on like your current project. In its own very long and convoluted explanation, because I can't words due to Smooth Brain, you're never going to be 100% ready, and you're always going to get your teeth kicked in, so you may as well draw the projects and characters you want to draw to learn the skills you need to get better. Does that make sense? Plus, you're more motivated when you like actually want to like draw stuff you actually like to draw. I don't know, for me lately, I've noticed this trend in my artwork where my artwork is, I would consider my art colorfully, how would I put it? Colorfully psychotic, I guess, if you will. Because, like, I have this vampire sticker, and his Safe for Work version is, like, great. I love his Safe for Work version. Alright? His not Safe for Work version, I was like, do I want to go with the Twilight-esque, like, shiny version? Do I want to go with, like, the plain, like, vanilla version I made? And then I was like, you know what? Let's go! Let's go with the Dark Psycho version! And I remember messaging a couple of people because I sat there and I looked at it and I was just like, man, I don't know if Etsy's gonna be okay with this. And that's usually, like, if you look at something and you're wondering, like, how close you can get to, like, terms of service without getting, like, deleted, I guess, but yeah, I looked at it and I'm like, for me, it's not that bad, right? And then I'm like, well, how would somebody else look at this? And then I was just like, let me ask a couple people. And so I asked a couple people, I'm like, hey, is this sticker too dark? And the people, the one person I asked was just like, I mean, I don't think so, but I'm also slightly psychotic, so don't take my word for it. And I was like, okay. And then I asked somebody else, and somebody else was like, what do you mean? That's not that dark at all. I was like, okay. So then I had a new fear pop up. And that fear was, do I have psychotic friends? Because I myself am also slightly psychotic. And they don't think it's like too dark because they're used to seeing like, you know, weirder stuff. And then I was like, you know what? This is the sticker I want. This is the sticker I want to put up there. This seems to be the sticker that people like from the few people I've asked. So you know what? It's going. It's going in the shop. With sensor bars. He won't be censored in real life, but for product images, I have to put sensor bars. Haha, I know the sticker. I mean, it was the same thing with my Yandere onion sticker too. Like, I drew her and I loved her because she was, one, inspired by me chopping onions, because I put onions in everything. Like, I love onions. I love fried onions, caramelized onions. Heck, I've even eaten onions raw, like, occasionally when I'm bored and I feel like my life's going well. I'm like, you know what? Let's do something upsetting, because everything feels fine. And chomp down on a raw onion. That's probably a bit TMI, but eh. But anyways, but the point being is that that I was inspired, one, by the fact that I chop a lot of onions, but also I've gone down this like rabbit hole of like dark internet videos, or like the dark side of Discord, the dark side of like YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that. It's about a YouTuber named Visual Venture. You never realize how out there your privacy actually is until you start deep diving into how open the internet actually is. And it's kind of scary to think about, but your brain just sort of like blocks it. But anyways, but no, I started binging Visual Ventures like videos. Because he's a cool dude. Some of his facts are kind of like iffy and probably should be like double checked, but I mean otherwise he's a good source of like info. But anyways, point being is I started binging his content, and he did a series on like websites on the dark web and this, that, and the other, and I was like, should I really be watching this? And then I was like, you know what? We're here, we're doing it, let's go. And I did. Fun Gordy fact, my mom's maiden name translates to one who onions as a verb. Oh my god, that's cool as hell! The one who onions. I'm stealing that. That's mine now. I onions the shit out of my food all the time. Oh, that's not what I wanted. But mostly the reason why I bring up visual like venture and talking about like the darkest parts of the internet is and also why this does go into like an overarching thing, and I can't remember if it was, I'm like 90% sure it was a video from him I saw about this, but it was something about how like it was either, I can't remember, I'll have to cross-reference the video I saw because I can't remember if it was him or somebody else, but somebody else was basically saying that algorithms are kind of changing the way that stuff is viewed, essentially. And what I mean by that, or at least what that video was talking about, was that things that the algorithm like deems as being like the most successful gets pushed through, right? But a lot of that is like the same. Actually, I think it was Lavender Town, now that I'm talking about it. I think it was a video Lavender Town made. But basically how like certain like weird styles don't really get like pushed as much unless you're specifically looking for them. And I think that's why I thought my like yandere onion and my vampire might be like too dark for some audiences, because like I've had in the past where I have posted like TikToks and the algorithm like suppresses them for like nudity, or because they're like there's perceived nudity, or it's just like too weird. And that's not really like, it's kind of a gripe on my part, but like I do understand that there's some questionable stuff that I draw. At the same time, though, the stuff that I post to like TikTok is like not super like out there, at least in my opinion. I think I've had like maybe one or two that I was like, okay, yeah, I completely understand. But essentially it's like if you don't like actively go look to find like weirder styles, you're not really going to see them. And I thought that was a rather interesting take, because because you know you have stuff that does well, and then you have stuff that, you know, doesn't do all that well. And then if the stuff that does well is all the stuff that's like considered super like wholesome and friendly, you know? I don't know. Also, I got completely off tangent because reasons, but yeah, no, if you have like a weird art style, keep your weird art style. Be weird, my friend. We need more weird stuff because it's kind of like, I can't explain it, but things that like were considered like heavy, like maybe not necessarily outcast culture, but like how do I describe it? Things that were considered weird when I was growing up, or things that were considered like kind of like geeky or out there is now like becoming like mainstream. And it's interesting to see how like people who get exposed to that weird culture interact with it. Like I'm seeing so in particular, I am not like a huge fan fiction person. And it's not that I haven't tried, or it's not that I don't like seeing like authors come up with like new ideas for like beloved characters. I just, for whatever reason, if I read about my favorite characters doing like other things that are not in their books, I just want to go back and like read the book that they originally come from. And I know that's kind of like bad, but anyways, but there's been a lot of talk in about fanfiction right now because it got quote unquote discovered by like regular people. Like, I'd say more like mainstream people, and it's been like a rather chaotic thing ever since, because like there was a period where people were binding handbook binding like fan fiction stories, because they're like, oh, you know, I want such and such to be, you know, in this like pretty book and this, that, and the other. And the mistake that they were making was that they were trying to like sell it. Which, if you don't know, like the whole shtick with fan fiction is you can't sell fan fiction. Mostly because it's supposed to be a free thing, number one, but also, if I remember correctly, like the community, like, and this is gonna be kind of like terrible to say, so I apologize, but like Anne Rice was like super big on going after people who wrote fan fiction of her books. And so yeah, so one way fan fiction authors like protect themselves is they're like, you know, hey, this is free. Like, if you want to bind it for your own personal reasons, that's fine, but you can't, like, you know, sell it. And that started like a big like controversy about whether or not you could sell fan fiction as like actual books. And I was just like, wow. And then now, AO3, I believe. I believe it's the one that I keep confusing AO3 with like AOL whenever I talk about fan fiction, but I guess now like people are questioning, you know, like why there's no censorship on AO3. It's just like a list of chat. So like the way AO3 works from my understanding, if you've actually been on AO3 and you know how this works, please feel free to like correct me, but from my understanding of it is AO3 is rather like uncensored, but with that caveat, all of your fics have to be tagged. And the thing of it is that you can filter those tags. So if a fic has a tag that you don't like, you can censor it. You can basically put like a thing on it to be like, hey, don't show me any fics with this tag in it. And for fics that you have tags that you like, you can filter the like website to recommend you those fics that have tags that you like in them. And I guess the recent thing is, or rather the recent thing that I saw is people basically being like, you know, AO3 needs to have more censors and be filtered because there's this weird stuff with all these weird tags on it, and it's just not really like kosher or like friendly, because what if I don't want to see it? And this, that, and the other. And people who have been on AO3 since the days where they had like a citrus scale for like how NSFW certain fics are or were, they're just like, are you kidding? So like it's interesting. It's an interesting clash of culture, I guess, for people who have always been weird and have always found like peace in weird spaces to suddenly have, you know, it be discovered and become, you know, like mainstream, if that makes sense. Which actually related to a video I saw of where Visual Adventure talked about YouTube Rewind and how YouTube Rewind like eventually used that like video to go back on like the year to provide like a like an advertiser friendly like not an advertiser friendly like promotion for the site as a whole, when I think there was like a really big controversy early in the year between like PewDiePie and an Indian production company, where the production company was trying to like depose PewDiePie as having the most subscribers on the platform or something like that. Also, she's sneezing and she's coming out great. I love her. She's not really Yin's colors, but it's close enough. You know what? I'll put stars in her hair. 'Cause why not take a crazy chance? There we go. Now it's Yin. Mostly, kinda. There we go. So our primordial creation entity sneezes dark matter. Who knew? I honestly need to redo Yin in the eventually though. Alright. So now we can do a character laughing. Okay. So this time we are gonna get the shoulders involved. Oh, also, as a quick side note, I do intend to draw Saturday on a mini stream. I don't know why I wrote Tuesday. What I'll be drawing? I have no clue. But, the reason why I say that is because, next week, so like, we have, like 3 more days in this week, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So then big chart. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sat, Sun, and then maybe nope, I'm there. I will be getting kidnapped that day. I love your mini streams. No worries. Monday, Tuesday. Okay. Alright, so we're just gonna color this pink. Okay, so Saturday is gonna be mini stream. Mini art stream for like this weekend, right? Friday is also gonna be a stream, like night, because we're gonna do feasting with friends. So FF, which I'm actually gonna download those FNAF mods for repo, and we're gonna do repo for tomorrow night's friend stream. I have decided. But Saturday, actually, I'll make this green because this won't be on like stream. We're color coordinating a really bad calendar. Hold please while I go on a tangent. So anyways, so that's what we're doing Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday is just gonna be kind of like a no day. Okay, so then Monday will be a stream. We're gonna be playing more Bio. Tuesday is gonna be questionable because I need to see what my work schedule is Tuesday. So Tuesday may or may not end in an art stream, and then I will not be streaming Wednesday through Monday. And possibly Tuesday next week. And the reason why I won't be doing that is because I'm going to Oddities Con in New Orleans. But my fish mom, so Fish Mom's fish mom, has asked me to come out and come help with like the animals that she has. So essentially what the plan is looking like is after I get done at the fish market on Wednesday. Hey, real quick, can you give me more water? Or can you bring in a bottle, 2 bottles of water, please? Thank you. So anyway, so what it is after I get off of the fish market on Wednesday, I'm gonna drive straight to like my fish parents' lair, and then I'm gonna be hanging out with them from Thursday until possibly Tuesday. And then after that, my streaming schedule is actually going to change. So I know, I'm sorry. Thank you. I got 2 bottles. I got 2 jugs of water. So my streaming, so after I get back from Oddities, my streaming schedule is going to change in a kind of unique and interesting way. Because instead of doing my current stream attempt schedule where I do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm going to be changing it to where I do Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. So this gives me Wednesday and Thursday off in the middle of the week to do whatever. And then it gives me Sunday off to also kind of like... Hold on. So Wednesday I can do whatever. I can throw a wild house party if I wanted to. Tuesday I could do whatever, and then Sunday I could do whatever. And hopefully this like evens out my schedule a bit better, because I know Tuesday's been kind of hit and miss with Strem lately. But it's only because of like how my work schedule is, because I drive like 1 hour to the fish market each way, so going there and coming back, and by the time I come back, I'm just no energy. So yeah, Fish Mom's gonna be kind of up in the air for like a hot second. And actually, while I'm on this rant, so I'm thinking like for October, we go back to Bendy. We go back to Bendy in October. And the reason I say this is because I actually saw a lore video for Bendy and the Dark Revival. And apparently they're coming out with like a third game as well. And I'm like, trilogy? I'm like, Ink Demon? I'm also like, how badly do I want to do this? Considering how, like, effed up I was when I played it the first time. I think there might be, like, a clip or two of the first time I played Bendy. But the beauty of my memory is I don't remember anything that I played when I played it initially. So I guess that's like a blessing in disguise almost. But yeah, so October, we're going back to Bendy. And we're gonna finish it this time. And it's gonna be recorded on YouTube. Because not only are we going to be playing Bendy the first game, but we're going to be playing Bendy the second game as well. And I'll be using Ink Fan for that, for those playthroughs with some fun modifications, because I got Spooptober! Yeah! Because I actually got this program called ToonTuber Studio. And I kind of want to mess around with it a little bit, just to see like what it's about. But I haven't given myself time to actually like sit down and play with it yet. Also, I'm a BRB because I have to run to the restroom. I promise there will be more animation that we're getting to, but I wanted to go on a rant about this like stuff because it's something I find interesting. I don't know, I had an intrusive thought and was wondering if Ink Demon Bendy was considered like conventionally attractive enough not to need a hear me out cake. So like, if you were to go up to somebody and you were to tell them, hey, I think Ink Demon Bendy from Bendy and the Ink Machine is hot, like, would somebody understand why he's hot? Or would you need to have like a whole hear me out cake for why he's hot? And once that intrusive thought got into my brain, that actually came about from watching that lore video on the second Bendy and the Ink Machine game. I was just like, oh no, I have to go back to the series. I hate those cutouts though. They get me every fucking time, and I hate those stupid cutouts more than life itself, but I will be right back. Come on. come on, sit. Okay, I came back. I have returned. But, yeah, so those are just some, like, ideas and plans and stuff. Come on, water. You're not a fizzy drink like soda. I'm Sag. I have no more soda. I'm always out of soda. It's okay, though. Soda is the devil drink. Because of its highly addictive content. That I want more of. That I need to function. Come on. Open. Open sashimi. Actually, at some point, I need to play Cuphead. Because Cuphead's another, like, game that I've kind of wanted to, like, play because I like the art style in it. Which is actually really wild to me. I guess the, like, game devs of Cuphead had, like, no idea how to, like, animate, and they were like, let's make a game purely on, like, the early days of animation. And they just went for it. But, yeah, so if you ever need, like, encouragement to do projects and you have no idea, like, what you're doing prior to going into that project, just go make the project. Because then we get great things like Cuphead. I didn't want to do a very overly complicated person. Yeah, that looks slightly psycho. Water, come here! Come here! Have I only been live for 20 minutes? What happened? Sorry, I looked on YouTube and YouTube said like 20 minutes and I was like, huh? Excuse you. I have been live according to Twitch for 2 hours and 11 minutes. Sorry, I'm at the point of the evening where my brain's gone smooth, and so I like stare at stuff for like a minute trying to remember what I'm supposed to be doing. What happened? What did I do? There it is. I knew I was gonna find it eventually. Come on. Humans don't have tails. They have big, big shorts. But they walk around in going, huh? Sorry, I've seen a lot of like Fern Gully stuff lately. God, I miss Robin Williams so much. Hey Shell, what's up? How you doing tonight, friendo? Oh, also, I have addiction to Tricky Towers right now. Because it's so, like, unerringly frustrating. Dude, okay, is looking at ghost info before scaring myself silly. Why would you do that? Okay, so I know I've drawn like pretty much the same pose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, but I promise there's a reason. There's a reason and a method I haven't gotten to yet. Actually, I'm not gonna worry about coloring in the pupil. Because I'm gonna go hunting and thought I'd drop in Nifty Tunes. Thank you. Good luck, my friendo. Yeah, I like this. This composer is a Japanese composer that makes a lot of free BGM songs that I use in my videos. I really have to go back through all of my like live recordings to go back in and put in like a description and like metadata, or not metadata, but like give them like credit and stuff like that, and I've just been kind of overwhelmed about doing like back end like editing stuff. Namely because I get distracted doing like other stuff, so I don't like, or rather I can't like, essentially I have issues with focusing my attention, so I haven't really like, part of being a content creator is, you know, making the content and then posting the content to places so people can see. And I am currently very terrible at that, at least as of right now. I keep telling myself I'll get better, but it's kind of... It's kind of like that, what is it? You see a task, right, that you know that you need to do or you want to do, but starting the task is like really hard. And so, or rather, like, you know you need to start, but you're not quite sure where to start. And so you start putting it off because you're like, oh, well, you know, I've got time. I can just do it later, or I can do it, you know, like whenever. And then as time gets closer for like the task to perceive to like get done, or like school, right? So in school, you get assigned like projects and homework and stuff, and that's all stuff that you're supposed to like do. So like the teacher will assign you like a paper to do in like 3 weeks, right? Because they're like, hey, you have 3 weeks to like research this paper. Don't do it the night before because X, Y, and Z reasons and bloody blah, right? So you get this paper and you're like, okay, cool. I have 3 weeks that I have until I need to like work on it, until it needs to get done. I got this. I can do that. And so what happens is you're like, okay, I have this paper. And over the course of that 3 weeks, you attempt to start your paper, right? But, you know, you have like 3 weeks and you're like, okay, well, you know, I'm not really ready for it right now, so I'll just go ahead and I'll do it later. And then you get a free moment and you sit down and you're like, okay, I have this paper, I'll do it, you know, like now. And eventually what winds up happening is, for the entirety of the 3 weeks that you're planning to like sit down and write this paper, you never wind up actually writing it, right? Because it's like later. And then, by the time you realize it, you're in class, and I'm not speaking from personal experience because I've had this issue. Not me, not Fish Mom, who's never late to anything and always prepared for everything and has never had any troubles ever. Yes, never had any troubles doing anything ever. So eventually what happens is that you're in class and the teacher's like, hey, that paper I assigned you to do 3 weeks ago, that's due tomorrow. And then you're suddenly struck with this overwhelming sense of fear, because you're like, oh god, the paper that was due 3 weeks ago is now due tomorrow. So because you're desperate and this paper accounts for like 25% of your grade, you decide, all right, I'm gonna do it right then and there. I'm gonna get through this paper and I'm gonna get it done, right? I'm gonna be good. Well, then you actually start on the paper, and then you start writing the paper and doing all the research for the paper. And then next thing you know, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. And guess what, soldier? You gotta go to bed. But you're like, nah, I know how to math out sleep. If I go to bed at 3 a.m. and I sleep for like 40 minutes, that'll give me enough time to wake back up to go get the paper done, right? But what winds up happening is you go to sleep and you wind up sleeping until it's the next like school day. And then you're like, okay, well, I've gotten most of the paper done, but I have no clue how I'm gonna make her hand move. But anyways, but you've gotten most of the paper done the night before. And now you're trying to like math it out in your head, like maybe if you skip like breakfast and lunch, you can get the final like details and hope and pray that you'll get a C on this paper that you had 3 weeks to research. And you know, you're hoping that you can get it done. Now, if this is a morning class, you're kind of like SOL at that point. You got to turn in what you have and hope it's enough. If it's like a mid-afternoon, like maybe I don't know how they do school now. If it's like third or fourth period, like right before lunch, you might be able to squeeze out like a B, possibly an A. If it's an afternoon class, though, you have a better shot of not only getting your paper done, but getting it turned in on time. Or then, like, on the off chance that you're not able to get this paper, like, done in time, the teacher will offer you a layaway, right? And this is the Hail Mary, okay? Where the teacher... Hold up, I'm trying to think about where I am. So the Hail Mary is that... The Hail Mary layaway is the teacher, you know, gets into class and knows that there are just some students that that need more time on this damn paper. And so the teacher's like, hey, you can turn in this paper later, right? But you get like so many points off if you turn it in later. And you're like, okay, so then you can start like mathing how you're gonna make this work, right? And eventually what winds up happening is, even though the teacher has given you like an extension, you know, you have one of two possibilities. Either possibility A, you turn in the paper, like, when you said you were going to, which is that day, and you squeeze out with like, you know, an A or a B. If you're like one of those ones that, if you're one of the like student-y students that can like kind of bullshit your way through it. I had no idea how I was gonna get the second arm. How am I gonna get that second arm up there? Where was I? Shoot. Oh yeah, so anyway, so you squeak out with a C at best, a B if you're like kind of extremely lucky, or an A if you just really know how to like BS your way through, right? And that's school. That's how school does it. Okay. Now take all of that, right? And that deadline that you have for your paper is something that the teacher gives you, is something the teacher assigns, right? Now take that and apply it to content creation, where you have to give yourself kind of this arbitrary like deadline that you have to like make it to. And you know, because if you don't give yourself like some aspect of when videos need to be out, you you know, you'll never make a schedule, you'll never like post, right? So you have to make an arbitrary deadline for yourself to get like content out and to like have a somewhat consistent schedule. Because those who post consistently are the ones that do like well. Like that's the important, like anybody who tells you about content creation, they'll tell you you need to be like consistent, right? And so you're like, okay, I will post every like Friday, right? Like that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna post on Fridays, every Friday. So you get ready and you record the thing and you're like, okay, I got this. I can, I don't know if this is so much laughing yet, but we'll see. I'm working as hard as I can, but, what was I gonna say? Sorry. anyway, so you go to I'm not doing a lot of like head movement for her. It's more like just facial movement. I am doing a lot more on her than I did on like the character sneezing, so I'll congratulate myself for that. But anyways, so then, you know, like you have a job where, you know, you have to make ends meet for like your bills, and that kind of gets in like the way of things. And then you're like, oh, well, you know, I have so many ideas of so many topics that I could talk about, because, you know, you don't have a teacher that like, so like in the example of the school where the teacher assigns you your paper, right? She'll be like, hey, topics, right? And, you know, you'll have an overarching topic of, say, maybe, I don't know, history, right? And then she'll give you, like, I don't know, War of 1812, European secession, the history of cheese, travel in times through the power of tea, or something like that, right? Don't. I'm making this way more complicated than it needs to be, so I apologize first and foremost, but I'm also trying to pad out like runtime. So anyway, so point being is teacher assigns you like tasks. Well, when you do content creation, you gotta kind of like come up with all of those on your own, right? Topics to like talk about, and then it's like, oh, well, I want to talk about this, but then while you're thinking about that, you get an idea for something else that you could probably talk about that people would enjoy, and then it's like, okay, well, why don't I start looking into that secondary topic? And then it's just this like endless loop of ideas that you like kind of give yourself to like talk about. And you wind up kind of not doing any of them. And then, remember that paper that you kind of like, squeezed out like a victory on? Because you got lucky in like, yeah, you know, it's not the most perfect paper in the world, but it's like good enough to pass, right? Well, you kind of don't know like what your audience is gonna like or not like until you actually like put the thing you worked on out there. And the thing of it is when you spend hours like making something, it could be hard to like it could be hard for it to stand up to like your own sense of I don't know, perfection, standards, right? Because like you see what other people do, right? So you see these very nice like sorry, I'm getting distracted. Okay, so for example, see these very nice like just pretend those are like shiny. So you see these very nice professional like polished like videos that other people do, right? And you're like, okay, I'm gonna do that too. But whenever you go back and you look at your own work, right? You see it, instead of this nice, like, very shiny, polished product, you see it more as, like, something kind of, like, skewed and, like, kind of, you know, like, wonked out. Right? But, like, the thing about the person or the people that have, like, the super shiny, like, sparkly videos, they've either been doing it for a long time, or they've, like, had practice doing stuff for other people, right? Before they decided that they were going to be like, you know what? I'm going to do it myself. And the thing of it is when you start out, and this is with anything, by the way, this is not just with content creation, this is not just, you know, this is with anything. Like, think about when you were a kid and you had to learn how to use, like, a spoon, right? Using a spoon is not something that you know how to do right off the bat. I mean, if you're a genius, sure, but I don't know about you. I'm not, I have the smooth brain, okay? I have the smooth fish brain. So, when you learn how to use a spoon, you're not that good at it. But eventually, you're taught to the point where not only do you know how to use a spoon, you could probably flip that spoon, like the bottle flip challenge, and land it, like, perfectly straight, right? Because you've developed your spoon skills enough to be able to do that. Well, that's kind of the same thing for other skills in life. It's like drawing, it's like doing animation, you know? Like, you're gonna have a rough start of it. I guess the best example, or the best thing that I could reference this to is, if you've ever seen The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and if you haven't, please go watch it. That show is absolutely hysterical. I love the dynamic between Midge and her manager Susie. It's great. But there's a scene in it where, like, Midge decides that she's gonna pursue being a stand-up comedian, like, full-time, right? That's what she wants to do with her life. That's how she wants to be famous. And for Midge, this is kind of like, not necessarily blasphemy, so to speak, but, like, it's heavily looked down upon because this is set in, like, the 1950s, and, or is it the 1960s? I think it's the 1960s. Anyway, point being, it's set between that period, between the 1950s and the 1960s, where essentially women settled down and got married, had 3 kids before 30. You know, like, Midge had a very typical, like, housewife lifestyle that got uprooted, and because it got uprooted and she couldn't live that lifestyle anymore, she turned to comedy. But the thing of it was that for the few, like, impromptu, like, comedy shows that she did, she was funny, yes, but she was also very drunk and impulsive, and that's what, you know, made the crowd like her. And so anyway, so when she starts pursuing comedy by actually, like, working on her act and writing her jokes, she goes on stage and she bombs, right? And this sends her into a spiral because you don't want to put this thing that you work super hard on, or this thing that you think you're good at, you don't want to, like, get into the spotlight and do the thing that you think you're good at and then fail miserably at it. Like, nobody wants to do that. And so Midge goes on stage and she bombs. Like, the crowd, like, she has hecklers, the crowd jeers at her and this, that, and the other, and she spirals because of it. And as a result, she tells Susie that she's not going back up on stage, and Susie's like, yes, you are. And Midge is like, well, I'm not going back up if I'm gonna bomb. And Susie's like, yeah, well, you are gonna bomb. And you're gonna continue to bomb. And you're gonna bomb and you're gonna bomb and you're gonna bomb until you get good. And when Midge points out, you know, some other like very famous comedians that, you know, go on stage and they don't bomb, Susie's like, yeah, because they already did. Like the people use, like, essentially what I'm saying is the people you see that, you know, have a shiny look or are able to completely like capture other people's attention or seem to be able to, you know, like do it all, like that you just see what's on the surface, right? The surface of that. You don't see like everything that's like under it. Like you don't see the whole iceberg essentially of how many times they failed or how many times they bombed or, you know, how many videos and stuff that they trashed because they just didn't feel that they were up to like their standards or the standards that they believed that the algorithm or like YouTube or like their fan base wanted. Like they had to go through that entire journey of like failing and bombing and self-discovery to figure out like what routines worked for them would be and what you know, like how to do it, like how to find a routine that worked for them. And the thing of it is that how do I put this? That routine at a minimum could probably take you like weeks, right? We're not gonna say days, we're gonna say weeks. At minimum, it could probably take you weeks. At the longest, it could probably take you years. And an interesting example of this is, because I've been on a kick of Five Nights at Freddy's, is, you know, Scott Cawthon, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, he was a game developer for 20 years, working at Dollar Tree, because none of his games made money. And then someone left a comment that one of his games looked like it had creepy animatronics, and Scott just took that and ran with it, and now has one of the biggest franchise, not only in indie gaming, but in like, it's become the new like horror, like intro to horror book series for kids. It's got its own cinematic like a movie universe, you know? And people like, that's pretty common knowledge, at least in the Five Nights at Freddy's space. Knowing that about Scott is like pretty common knowledge, but that's kind of the point. Like, you're gonna go, like, it's very hard to want to get through that era of just constantly failing or constantly bombing or not knowing what to do. And if I could encourage anybody, and especially say this to encourage myself because that's what I'm struggling with right now, there's no other way out but through. And I know getting through is really hard, but you gotta push. You gotta push yourself, because if it's something you really want, you know, you'll make it. Or if you don't make it, you'll find something close enough to it. What is it? You may shoot for the moon and not reach it, but at least you'll land on a star or something like that. I'm sorry, that was a very intense rant. You got the makings of greatness in you. Wait, wrong movie. Or right movie? That was 8, I meant 9. As a side note, one of my favorite scenes from that show, and I've probably talked about it before, but I'm gonna talk about it again because I can. But one of my favorite like scenes in that entire show is when Midge teaches Susie how to swim, and and it's Midge in the pool and Susie is standing at the edge, and Midge is like, Susie, jump to me, I'll catch you. And she's like, no, no, you won't. And Midge is like, yes, I will, I promise. And Susie goes, no, fuck you. And Midge is going, Susie, you're acting like a 4-year-old. And Susie goes, no, you're acting like a 4-year-old. And it's great. It's my favorite scene in the entire show, because I feel like that's a me core thing with Yin, because Yin's trying to get me to do the convention circuit, because she's gonna start running conventions in next October, because I am going out to help her with Multiverse Con, which is a great convention for writers, by the way. But yeah. Okay, you know what? It's good enough. I know I've been like ranting and raving all night, and I apologize for that, but that's not the color I wanted. Oh, I also saw a clip from, I think it was called Hook. It was the Peter Pan movie where like Robin Williams played an adult like Peter Pan, and Dante Bosco was like the leader of like the Lost Boys. But I want to rewatch that movie. But anyways, but there was a scene between Hook and Smee where Smee goes, "I've had an apostrophe," and Hook goes, "I think you mean an epiphany." And he goes, "My brain has been struck," and Smee goes, "My brain has been struck by lightning." And Captain Hook was like, "That must hurt. That must be painful." I took that video clip and I sent it to Yin, and I was like, this feels like us core. And she's like, "I'm not that mean to you." And I'm like, it's not that you're like that sarcastically mean or anything. It feels like something where I would like come up to you and be like, "I've had an apostrophe because I forget what the word epiphany is." And she just kind of like laughed at me. That being said, I could also see me doing that with Quinn. Where I go to Quinn and I'm like, "Quinn, I've had an apostrophe," and Quinn's like, "What?" There it is. Hook, yes. I saw that clip and I was like, why does the Hook look so hot in that movie? God, I'm such a degenerate. Hey, yeah, come on. Come on, Cord, step it. Alright, so guess what we get to do? We get to go frame by frame and color everything! Why? Because I wanna, that's why. Which, I did get some like watercolor brushes, for those like water soluble crayons I have. I have brushes like somewhere, and my mom gave me some like fine liner brushes, but they're like a bit too small. Yeah, I was gonna get a book on learning how to watercolor that I saw on the TikTok shop, and I was gonna teach myself how to watercolor because I am that motivated. Kind of. I don't know. You gotta kind of like, you gotta try to have hobbies outside of like art. And I know I say that knowing that I'm doing more art, but I'm picking up a different medium with the idea to maybe try to do like more abstract wash pieces, if that makes sense. And also, it's a different like medium than digital art is. Not that I don't like digital art. It's just it's my main, I guess you could say, and I'm trying to branch out from my main to see like what else I can do and what else is out there. So like I've picked up embroidery and crochet just to have something else to like to have something to do physically with my hands. Oh, I get it, because the body is the same. Okay. The body is the same, but the eyes are not. My soup is done. Time to take a shower and immediately go to bed. Have a great rest of your stream. Have a good night, Gordy. You may or may not be here tomorrow for feasting with friends, and you may or may not be here Saturday, but much love. Thank you for stopping by, Streme. Good night. Got me wanting to watch Hook now, too. It's a good movie, okay? Oh, speaking of, I mean, not that we were talking about it recently, but, speaking of Hear Me Out cakes, I got into a discussion with somebody about Hear Me Out for, like, skeleton and, like, bone characters, and I'm like, you mean, like, the original Bone Daddy, Jack Skellington? And they were like, oh my god, yes. And, they were just kind of like, is that weird? And I'm like, I mean, probably to a normal person, but like, for me, I had like the biggest crush on Jack when I was younger, so I'm not a very good like metric to like stand by. And then there's this anime called Overlord, and the main character in Overlord is this guy called Ainz. And basically Overlord is essentially like an isekai where this guy gets like trapped in a world, in the game world, as his skeleton mage avatar. Forgotten again. Oh yeah, Skeletor. I've seen the Skeletor memes, but I haven't seen the actual show of where Skeletor is from. So I apologize. That's my nerd culture feeling. But anyways, but I recommended they watch Overlord because like Ainz is the dude that gets like isekai'd into his skeleton mage avatar that's like super powerful, and he essentially rules as like the bad guy in these NPC lands with his army of like highly trained NPCs that him and like his guild members made together. That's fair. So anyways, so like Ainz is definitely on a Hear Me Out cake. Because reasons. And because I say so. But yeah, so we started talking about like other like bone daddies. And surprisingly enough, Toxus from Fern Gully came up too. I don't know. I'm kind of scared to ask, but I'm gonna ask. Does anybody have a really unhinged, like, Hear Me Out? Albedo will fight you. Yeah, she would, but I think I could take her. Not well, but I could try. really need to like rewatch that anime. I forget what season they're on, but like I really like that anime, and my ex also really liked that anime, and I bought him a couple of the like light novel series that the anime is based off of. I think I may actually have a couple of them too, just because there's like just because the light novels have like more like details and stuff that the anime doesn't, but also goes more into like the like lore of the world and how the game works and stuff like that. Me, or has like the isekai genre of anime gotten like super weird in like recent years? There's also Arc from Skeleton Knight in Another World. Same situation as Ainz, except instead of being overpowered, geared like Ainz, he's OP because of his game's job advancement system. Oh, that sounds cool. I gotta check that out. There's another anime, I think it's called I think it's something like The Hero That Nobody Remembers or something like that. I have to look it up, but it's basically this guy who couldn't like get past being a bronze adventurer, which is like the lowest level of like adventurer you could be. And so what happens is he like, spoilers for this anime, by the way, so if you don't like spoilers, please leave, but if you don't mind spoilers, stick around. But essentially what happens is he gets killed in a dungeon and he turns into an undead skeleton, which is like a low level like mob, but somehow he still manages to retain like all of his memories, and the anime is about him learning, like becoming a very overly powered undead like lich as he continues to help and teach other adventurers how to adventure. It's Not Just You looks at weird vending machine. Oh my god, that I got isekai'd as a vending machine. I watched a couple episodes of that because I just had to see how weird it was for myself, and I was just like, it's a fantasy anime, I get it, but this is just weird as hell, even for me. The Unwanted Undead Adventure. Yeah. Yeah, I love that anime. That's one of my favorite animes. Come on, come on. I did also watch Delicious Dungeon because I kept seeing clips about it and I was curious about it, and honestly, like, I think the most interesting creature to me, and this is gonna be like super surprising, were the jewel bugs. The bugs that pretended to be like super like wealthy trinkets. Them and the knights that would like move on their own. I thought those were like really cool like creature designs. Also, I think Prosd voices the cook. The guy that like the dwarf that makes all the food in that anime. And I thought that was kind of wild. Don't get me wrong, I am glad he's getting voice work. He has like really good range. He also played Abby in K-pop Demon Hunters, which is just also super wild. Watching them toss the real stuff because you don't want to bite into that junk was priceless. Well, I mean, okay, legitimately, what good is jewels and money if you're starving, right? also found it funny that to like other adventurers, they were like their progress was detrimentally like impeded. And it was completely like accidental. I got reward points. I'll have to look at it here in a second. Okay. So for character laughing, this came out pretty good. We probably could have done a little bit more movement, but otherwise, like, I'm not gonna beat myself up too much about it. I like it. What is this? Art project? Okay, Picasso. I like it. Alright, so with the character laugh, and for those who missed it, we did sneezing. That's gonna be it for me tonight. That's 12:49 a.m. God, I have to be up in like 7 hours. Alright, let's see who's available that I can go hoist y'all up on. Who's available? Who's up? Who's available to raid? And are we going to Shadow Legends? Are we going to be Shadow Legends? Following. Frills and Drucy. Well, we haven't seen Frills in a while. So we're gonna go check out Frills. We're gonna go raid into Frills this time around. Go say hi. Go see how they doing. They're playing I think they're doing like just chatting or playing something. Anyways, they're doing a thing with friends, so you know. Oh, they're playing a game. Oh, they're playing Peak. I gotta get with Skittles because Skittles asked me to play that game, and that would be like a ton of fun, I think. But anyways, ooh, I may change my mind and we may play Peak tomorrow. Honestly, I'm looking at it and I kind of like it. Yeah, I know. I'm buying Peak tonight. I can already feel it in my body. I need to stop spending money. Fuck. But anyways, with that being the case, I will see everybody tomorrow night for Feasting with Friends, and then I will be back Monday and hopefully Tuesday, and then I'll be gone, and then I'll be back again. And somewhere in the interim of all that leaving and coming back and going away and coming back, I will have up my Etsy shop. So think promotions. Okay, so if I pass the vibe check and you want to see more from me, please give me a follow on Twitch or YouTube. I simulcast to both because I'm crazy. But also follow my socials. I'm on Twitter, Blue Sky. Those are my two main ones. I haven't posted on Insta in like forever. And I haven't posted on TikTok. I need to post on Insta and TikTok, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it. But that's beside the point. The point being is that if you want to see more from me, if you want to get notified when like my shop goes live, and stuff like that, please give me a follow. I also have a Discord link if you want to join my Discord. Discourse. It's a fun little community where I rant and rave about my life and then ask people what they think of things. Anyway, hope you all have a good whenever, and I will see everybody in the next stream.